Hello and thanks for joining me for another episode of the Outback Pawn Shop in Kenshi. So in the last episode, we did a bit of interior decorating in the shop, including some lodgings, which none of the NPCs will actually use, but oh well. We also got some hydroponics going with some wheat straw and replaced our outdoor hemp farm with one of these. And with the wheat straw, we can now do some home brewed grog, possibly some bread or something later on maybe. But that brings us up to where we are at the moment. All right, so what I want to do next is a bit of exterior lighting. Let me see. Now, I've also got a little bit of a few extra things added to the research queue. Some of them we'll probably never use, but I figured, well, you know, this is not really a combat run. It's more of a business success story run, and I guess getting all the research done is probably a good sign of success. We can learn this now, seeing as we research the prerequisites for that. Let me see. All right, so we are probably going to need some more power because lighting is going to use up a fair bit of power. So let's get a couple more wind generators happening over here. Too close to the farm here. So just to show you where we are, if you're just joining me for the first time, we are over here. This is our outpost here, and this old village is this here. We've been using the cactus farms here, but we can't build like super close to it, but close enough. So let's see if we can find a spot over here where it'll let us put in a wind farm. And if we press plus or minus on the keyboard, we can raise that up. Pop in another one in there. Possibly one more. Let's pop that over here. Spin that around. So we'll get started on that. And we'll speed him up. So if this is your first time joining me, there will be a link in the description below for the full playlist of this series, in which I'm not allowed to sell anything directly to caravans. I'm not allowed to take stuff into shops and sell it in shops. The only way that I'm allowed to make money is through our shop counter. We're also not allowed to hand in bounties. And we started this run with the rock bottom start. So we started out in this area, in the middle of the desert here, with no money, no clothes, and missing an arm. And now we have all robotic limbs. Still do need to get some masterwork arms, but that's okay. What's going on here? Who are these guys? Manhunters have decided that I'm easy prey. We are still not hugely good at combat, but we are stealthy and fast. I can't take on all these guys, and I don't plan on being a slave, so I'm just gonna run out of the way. Let's turn my job off, put sneak back on. And one of them is still running after me. doesn't want to give up. Should give up soon. All right. So, what happens to slavers that? Well, he's not the Slavers Guild, but Manhunters are still slavers. He thinks he can take me as a slave. Well, let's see if we can punish him for that. Take that. You know, we can't sell the armor or the weapons. They won't sell in our shop, but we can melt them down for iron. It's a lot quicker and easier than mining it. So let's pop that in here. We'll put the first aid kit in there to remove the stolen tag and take it out again. Melt all that down. Let's pop that into our shop counter. So, don't have a great deal in here. This is the experimental table. I've never ever sold armor, but I've put some of my armor in there just as an experiment. Same as the backpack. I know that I have sold bolts in the past in other runs, but not necessarily in this area. These will sell, but not very often. Very, very rarely. And I don't know if the raw meat will ever sell. So this is just keeping an eye on seeing if those things actually will ever sell. Over here we've got food, meds, alcohol, basically consumables. And here is more the things that the caravans and such will be interested in. But let's get our jobs back on and get back to work. Alright, I think I've got enough copper for these. Here's a caravan here, but let me see. Yeah, that's a farm trader. That's a scheduled visit. When they call you out and they want you to come to them to trade, very rarely are they going to ever buy something from our shop counter. So I'm not going to give them money unless they're going to actually spend money here. Unless I'm desperate for something, which I'm not at the moment. So we'll get these extra wind generators up and running. And this is also a solo run, so just the one character. And who have we got rolling in here? Mercenaries. They will sometimes buy medical supplies and sometimes alcohol, but not very often. They usually they don't have enough money to buy anything. Yeah. They are all broke. Who are these guys? Tech hunters. Tech hunters will usually buy some stuff. So sometimes they buy gears. They should buy them rum. Yeah, they just bought a whole bunch of meat. They didn't buy the rum. I think they might have bought one. There we go. They just bought it then. So, all right. I think we're almost done this one. Let's check my copper supply. I think we're just going to have enough for that. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. Okay, so let's have a look now. Actually, since reading that blueprint, we can add these to the list as well. Let me see. All right, so into our build menu, into lights. Let's grab searchlight here. Pop one there. This is going to use up a ton of power. Pop one in the corner there. Yeah, if I pop one there, I won't be able to pop one there, and vice versa. Pop one there. There. One in the corner there. Two there. One there. Corner one there. Put one on that corner, but not that corner. So we'll do that. That one, it won't let me. Let's pop one there. We can do that one. Can also do that one. Okay. All right. Spotlight. Won't let me put it there, but put one there. Maybe we will. Okay, let me just confirm that, and then I'll undo that one. We'll put a spotlight in the middle. Pop that one there. Put a spotlight there. Spotlight in the middle there. And one over here. All right, let's confirm that. We do have some electronics here, but we might need some more. Yeah, some of these is going to probably have trouble reaching. Doing engineering as a automated job, so we may need to do a few things to allow him to get in and reach some of them. Burning through the electronics. So far he's getting most of them done. And I'm doing this mainly just for aesthetics. They don't really help us out that much. The lighting is an important factor in Kenshi for things like stealth and working. We've got the Traders Guild here. They couldn't afford to buy anything. Possibly should have bought some electronics. It's probably too late now. I'm going to catch them ideally before they do their shopping, because they never have any money until you buy something. So they may stick around for a little bit longer and possibly do some more shopping, but maybe not. We'll see. But I'm probably going to need those electronics to get all my lighting finished. Has used up that batch of electronics that I just bought. Got 4 left in that one, so we've got 19 left. Okay. Now he's working on this one. Over to this corner. So we do have plenty of iron. Plenty of iron plates. And I could make electronics. I just not a fan of spending heaps of time mining copper. Okay, so we got that one done. That one done. That one. That one's done. Looks like this one he can't reach. Alright, that's because we've got outhouses here. And also we've got storage up here. Take that away, you might be able to reach that. Let's turn his job off. Alright. Let's bring him over here manually. Alright, so we need 2 electrical components for that one. And 4 iron plates, which we should have. Well, that's empty. Oh, got more in here. Alright, let's bring him around here. Get him building that one manually. Okay. That one's built. Looks like the rest of them are all... Yep, the rest are all built. Okay, so we've got 5 in there and 5 in there, so we've still got 10 electronics. Alright, that's fine. Let's put our outhouse back. And pop his jobs back on. let's have a bit of a scout around and see if there's anybody coming. Who are these guys? Sand ninjas. If you want to make some serious money, this is a good spot for bounties. Almost all the time, these sand ninjas out here are going to have big bounties on them. But in this run, I'm not allowed to hand in bounties. Alright, so now he's replacing the iron plates that we used. And he's also working the cactus farm for our rum production. So this is good for his athletics. To have a bounty hunter bone dog that got left behind. Alright, so let's do some more lights over here. Put one in the corner there. Don't have a corner position for this one. Or this one. Alright. Wait. There were spotlights. Okay, let's undo all that. I want searchlights on the corners. And I guess in the middle. And spotlights in the other positions. Alright, that'll do it. And we're not going to have enough electronics for that, so keep an eye out for the next caravan that comes along and buy some more. Who are these? Okay, Traders Guild. Let's go and intercept them before they do some shopping. We'll take those. We'll take that. So these guys, I don't know if you noticed I did that too quickly, but he didn't have any cash at all until I bought these electronics and stuff off him, so now he has some cash to buy something with. And you can see how much power is getting chewed up by our lights over here. We should probably possibly put some more lights up here too. Let's pop in a light post here. I mean, we don't really need more lights here, but pop a couple in anyway. Those ones don't need electronics, but they are buying stuff. Mainly the the meat. All the medication's gone. The Western Hive will come and clear out most of that soon. Okay. So that one's done. That one's done. That one is done. That one's not. It's doing some of them from the inside. So we're probably out of electronics. No, we've still got a couple. All right, let's put the book away. Let's pop the iron away. And all right, still working on that one. That one. Got to keep an eye and make sure that he can reach them all. And that caravan's clearing off. Some action going on over here. Sand ninjas. Mercenaries. Who we got over here? Nomads. They never have any money. Possibly if you were to buy some animals off them, then they'd have money. But otherwise they can never afford anything. Okay, what's our electronics looking like now? We're completely out. So what have we got going on here? Starving vagrants. Nomads. Alright. Let's get a little bit of combat experience happening. So now we're actually starting to be able to handle these guys a little bit better without having to disarm them all first. Okay, let's grab this stuff. That'll melt down. That'll all melt down. Grab that stuff. And we'll patch these guys up. Alright. Pop the jobs back on. Shove that in there. It's not enough for a full piece of iron. Alright, so let's have a look. So we've got one there that still needs electrical components. One there that needs electrical components. That one's got electrical components. Needs iron plates. Which we do have. So he must be having difficulty reaching that one. Which one? This one? Yeah. Alright, because we've got the smithy there. Got a research bench in here, so we have a bit of trouble reaching it. Alright, well, we don't really need the smithy. So let's dismantle that. It's going to be a while before our armor smithing is high enough to be able to make better armor for ourselves. So should be able to reach that now. Alright, can you build that, please? So yeah, sometimes these lights are a bit dodgy if you want to rely on the automatic jobs to get them built. Those two are fine as far as iron plates. So we need to wait for some more electronics to come in. Here comes a wandering assassin. Yeah. He would buy meds if we had them. And he usually buy food as well. Looks like this guy tried to take on the bone dog. Whose Garoo are these? Western Hive. Okay, where's the rest of your caravan? Oh, they're already shopping. Alright. Ideally, you want to catch them before they do their shopping. Sometimes they'll stick around for a little while and they might go back and do some extra shopping, but usually they'll head straight to the shop counter when they arrive. They'll do their shopping and then they usually won't go back to the shop counter again. Although sometimes they can, if, say, there was nothing in there that they wanted and you added more stuff that they were interested in, they might go back for a second helping. Alright, so let's have a look. So that one's built. That one's built. That one's built. And you can see there's a little light bulb icon when I hover over it. That's built. That's built. Okay, so they're all done. Got one electronic left. Okay. Let's pop a searchlight there. And there. Some spotlights. Won't let me put one on that corner. Do we have any facing the front? We don't. Well, let's just confirm that, but we'll... So, as I was showing, see if I hover over that one that's built, shows a little light bulb. These ones, aside from being in kind of the mesh form, if I hover over that, it's got the little hammer and wrench. Means it's not built. Gonna cancel that one so that it'll let me put one on this side. Or we can put one there. Alright, that'll do. But once again, we'll need to probably wait for some more electronics. Though, did he store the other ones? No, we have used them, so... But he'll continue adding the iron plates if we've got them. This guy's going to be out for a while. Let's pick him up. Let's pop him in a bed. He's lost an arm. We'll have a little bit of a scan around. See a fight going on down there somewhere. I guess not. Alright, you can see when it gets dark and the lights turn on, that's sucking up quite a bit of power. So it is one thing that you're going to want to keep in mind if you do want to put in a bunch of lights. So what have we got here? All of our alcohol is gone. I think I had a sleeping bag in there that they bought. None of this has been touched. Alright, I'm going to turn his job off for a minute and we're going to head over here and check these two buildings that do respawn a couple of items. One on the roof and one in this corner and one in this corner. If we hold down Alt, we can see them. Those will sell. Shove that in there. Not close enough for that. Alright, have your job back on. Alright, so how's our iron? We've still got a little bit of iron, but we have used up all of our plates. Who are these guys rolling up here? Tech hunters. Tech hunters will normally buy some stuff. They will buy rum if we have it, but we don't at the moment. There's another caravan and I missed him again before he's trading. It's okay. Alright. I haven't done any math on how many electronics I actually need, but that might be enough to get these finished maybe. Alright, so let's see. That one still needs electrical components. That one's built. That one's built. Those two are built. That one needs electrical components, and so does that one. So we still need a few more to get our exterior lighting done. So we'll just let him continue his automated jobs, which do have the iron plates on priority. So what he's doing is, this is the level 4, so it is spitting them out. So his priority is to hold the plates. And also to put the ore in there. So what he's doing that. That takes a few seconds to do that. So he runs across here because his next priority is to farm these farms. I might just go quickly check manually. And by the time he's like hit the farm once or twice, then this is spat out another plate, so he runs back. We have some shopping happening over here. Who are these guys? Is that the same caravan or not? Okay, so he's about to do some shopping, but I think that's the guy that I already just bought off of. It is. So he has come back for another shop. And he's just buying up food. My personal stock of food is a little bit on the low side. So, I mean, you can never have too much food. I mean, that was like half full of food not too long ago. Having a diversity of products for sale, I think, is the key. The Western hivers are going to buy all sorts of stuff, but they don't come very often. So in between their visits, the little sales do add up with all the other groups, all the other different NPCs that do come along, such as the slave traders, the tech hunters, wandering assassins, bounty hunters. So I'm not sure what our cash was at the start of the episode, but I think it was somewhere around 65, and we've bought a bunch of books and a bunch of electronics, so it's not the most profitable day. We don't have much good stuff in there at the moment. The chainmail sheets are good. Look at that, $2,000. But we don't have any big items in there. I'm hoping the slave traders will come along so I can get some more, steal some more crossbows off them. I mean, we can go into town and steal stuff, but the more we can stay here, the more stuff we're going to actually sell. Because while we're not here, we're missing out on sales. So we got all these done yet. We need 2, 4, 5. We need 5 more electricals. So we'll just let him do his jobs for now. He's making some grog. Run out of wheat. Alright. Now, because these are not our farms, these belong to the village, it doesn't always auto-haul them properly. That's fine. let's have a look here. All right. Who are these guys? Manhunters. They never buy anything. But let's use them as a source of iron. Let's take those. All right, let's load these into here. There's 20 iron, pretty easy. Much quicker than mining it. The first aid in there to get rid of the stolen tag. And I mean, people will buy stolen goods, but the stolen goods won't stack or combine. Okay, let's loot this one. Shove this in here. All right. Get a bit closer. Let's get these in there. And I'll let him go back to his jobs. He's going a bit slow while he's encumbered. Not really, haven't really made an effort to train up strength just yet. It's usually the last thing that you want to do in combat training. If you want your combat training to go a little bit easier. We are slowly getting up there though. We got our dexterity's getting up there. At 33 on melee attack and 31 on the katana. Which we are using the Katoon number 2. If I was doing a combat run and I was focused on training combat, then I would get myself a rust junk wakizashi. Would be my weapon of choice for combat training. Who are these guys? Tech hunters. Let's just check. The rum still's got nothing in it. Okay. Alright. These guys might buy the meds. Some food maybe. They did buy the gears that were in there. Bought none of that. Alright. I'm just gonna take a little bit of food out of there and that'll go into our personal supply of food. And we do have caravan here. I think this is the scheduled one though. But we'll see if he's got some electronics. Got some. Yeah, these scheduled ones. I don't know if that's that scheduled one or not. I think it is. So they, yep, they just took the money and ran. But I did need the electrical components. I think we're finished here with our lights. All right, so we now have some exterior lighting, interior decorations. We're producing a variety of different goods. That is probably going to do it for this episode. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.